Welcome to Podcast the Musical. This is a podcast where we talk about episodes of normal TV that are somehow musical in nature. Regular TV shows that somehow, some way decided, hey, let's do a musical episode. We're going to talk about the characters that sing in them or don't sing in them sometimes, which we don't prefer. I'm Josh, and...
I'm Kayla.
She's Kayla.
Sorry.
And we are, no, it's fine. We are the regular hosts of the show, and we love to have guests, and
today
guess
we
who's
don't.
with us today? Oh, way
sorry.
to ruin my joke.
Oh, man.
Thanks for ruining my joke.
I just wanted to contribute.
Good,
Sorry.
that's fine.
Who's the guest? Tell me. Surprise guest.
Nobody.
Oh,
Everyone knows that it's nobody now.
dang it.
But that's fine, because today we're talking about that 70's show, episode 24 of season 4, entitled That 70's Musical, where the whole show has lots of different song numbers, and it revolves around a musical production happening within the show. And yeah, we watched it, and we will talk about what we feel about it. Kayla, to start off, what is your experience with that 70's show as like a show as a whole?
That 70's show is one of those shows that was kind of always on. It gets picked, so what network was it on? Fox?
Originally, it was on Fox. It debuted on Fox. Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like they reran it often because it was always one of those sort of, oh, this is on. Yeah, sure, I'll spend a half hour watching this episode. Mm-hmm. But then I think it got picked up on like some cable show and syndication, and so I feel like it's just kind of everywhere all the time on. So I don't feel like it's one of those shows that you watch deliberately. I feel like it's one of those shows that you watch because it's on, and you're like, oh, this is entertaining enough for an afternoon. So because of that, I've seen episodes here and there, but I think I've seen a lot. But I couldn't tell you, like what happens in season 4. Like who even cares? I mean, they didn't try to make the show that way. So yeah, I've seen a lot of that 70's show. This episode in particular, I think I was skipping through the channels and saw one song, the one where they're singing the Joker. And I really like that song, but apparently it didn't make me that enraptured because I didn't watch any of the rest of the episode. So yeah, that's my experience. When was it on? What years was it actually on?
Well, it went from, and I have it actually written down. I wrote it all down. Season 1 started in 1998, and then it ended. Yeah, it ended in 2006.
1990? Are you serious? Mm-hmm. That feels wrong. Mm-hmm. It feels much more contemporary than that.
Even though it's set in the 70's?
Yes. Wow.
Yep, it was on from 98 to 06. Eight seasons.
I feel like I was 10 years old in 1998. That is
I don't know,
nuts.
Were you? You could probably figure it out.
Yes, I was. To 2006, that's a long time.
It is. It's my sophomore year of college. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. I was 11 when it came out.
Wow.
And then I was in college when it ended. And it's funny because the actual show only spans 4 years of the 70's.
Yeah. Huh.
Like season 1 takes place in both 76 and 77, and then they get to 1978 at the end of season 3, and then seasons 4 through 8 all take place in 1979, and then the finale is New Year's Eve of 1980, or New Year's Eve of 1979
so,
into 1980.
Yeah, less deliberate planning than, say, Mad Men on that.
Yes, or, 24.
Well, yeah, but I mean, watching that show, I'm even surprised that they designated specific years in the 70's for the different seasons because...
Well, they didn't. I mean, they didn't in the middle. That's kind of some sleuth work that people have done.
Oh, okay.
You can kind of tell. I mean, like, they started out in 76 on purpose. Like they were like, we want late 70s because we want to deal with certain issues with Jimmy Carter and blah, 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 who cares? And then in 77, they deal with Star Wars A New Hope coming out, and that's a big deal in 1977. And then after that, it doesn't really make plain what the year is, and so people have just been following it by looking at the tags on the car, on the Vista Cruiser, the license plate tag year.
Wow.
Yeah.
People have too much time on their hands, right?
Well, I mean, how long does it take to look at a license plate?
Well, to dig through until you see the license plate.
Well, if you're watching the show anyway.
Or do they show the license plate in the title theme?
In the title card?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention.
I feel like they do. I think they do. That's interesting
sense.
that they changed the little sticker. That's interesting. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
What's your experience with it, Josh?
I've seen all of it. And the only reason I know that is because when it hit Netflix, like for the second time.
Oh, for the second time?
Well, I think it hit Netflix and then went away, but I don't remember. I watched it, I think it would have been about 2011. It was when we came back from Korea. So 2011 or 2012, I just had it on while I was doing stuff in the kitchen or whatever. And I just, Netflix, you go through episode by episode and it saves your place, and I just went through all of it. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
So did you watch it when it was on at all?
I mean, yeah, episodes here and there, but not really.
What made you want to watch it on Netflix?
Because I did watch it a little bit, like in high school, a couple of episodes, here and there in high school, and I was like, that was pretty funny in high school, and then I just started it on Netflix and just kept watching it because it's one of those shows that you can just have on in the background while you're doing other stuff, because it doesn't really matter what they say, because it's not a very good show. Yeah, so the entire premise of the show, the episode, is that Fez is in some musical production at school, and he wants his friends to come and watch. And they think it's boring, and they don't want to come and watch. And he's angsty and sings a bunch of songs in his head about it.
And that is fine. I mean, that totally works fine, because like this show has so many flashbacks, or not flashbacks, but fantasies. It's like a big deal in the show, right? But the one thing that I felt was really weird was that the very first scene, when they're like in the soda shop or whatever, where the jukebox is, that scene seemed really out of place for the episode, right?
It felt very abrupt.
I don't understand why it was there.
It was, the whole point was to bring in the idea of Fez wants them to come to the musical, and they don't want to.
Okay.
Or they think it's dumb, and that's the thing. I mean, but it's one of those things where it's like it could have taken place anywhere. It could have taken place in the basement. Although, I mean, they use the jukebox as an object of bringing in the idea of a musical within a musical.
Yeah, it abrupt is the word, I think. It just felt really out of place for the whole feeling. Like getting the first song, that was fine and good, and you're like, oh, cool, we're going to be doing songs and fantasies this episode, and that was what happened. But it was... I don't know. It didn't
feel great. I mean, like, it doesn't, like, this entire episode, it doesn't feel like it was super well planned.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was kind of a, hey, let's do this for this. And then they gave it a shot, and it was fine, but it wasn't, they probably put about the same amount of planning into it as they do for a normal episode. But since they've already done 4 seasons of the other way they've done it, they didn't get the same result for the amount of work that they did, because they're doing something new.
Well, this was the 100th episode, right? That's why they did this. It was like a special thing. And this is the theme that we've seen with, like, a show will do a musical episode for a special sort of cap type of thing. Capstone sort of, I don't know. What am I saying?
No, like as a flagstone of, like, this is our milestone, saying this is our 100th episode. This is what's special about it.
Yeah. Who else did it? Was it 100th episode?
Supernatural.
Yes.
And it was 200.
That was their 200.
Right.
Wow. But you know what? Okay, one thing I want to say about the music in this episode is that I normally prefer for musical episodes to have original songs, but I think for this it would have been totally wrong, and it's totally right that they did these
doing a period
classic 70s songs.
Show.
See, now I'm wondering, with these people who say that they figure out what year it is and everything, now I'm wondering if all of the music like had actually come out at that time, or
I can tell you.
Oh, you looked this up? Okay.
I did. So the songs that they do are initially Sing, right? The Joe Raposo song that the Carpenters did. And that came out in 1973. Then it was Love Hurts by Nazareth, which is 61. What else was there? There was Happy Together, which is 67. The Joker was 73. In the broadcast, the original broadcast and the DVDs, when they're doing the TPing the House, it's Blitzkrieg Bop, which was 76, but it was taken out for syndication. And then Shake Your Groove Thing was 1978, Peaches and Herb.
So that's maybe the only one that is...
Nope, they're all right. Season 4 takes place in 1979, so earliest song is 61, latest song is 78.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
I thought the Ramones, Blitzkrieg Bop was later. I thought it was 70 or 79, but it's 76.
Well, good for them, because that was probably purely accidental. But yeah, great.
Maybe. I mean, it felt like it would be hard to figure it out. It'd be like, we want to do this song. Did it come out before 1979? Nope. Well, then I can't do it.
Well, I don't feel like they even would care to ask. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming their thoughts about the show, but after 4 seasons, they probably have done enough research into what happened when. It's probably, just an automatic thing to check your time as they're writing. Maybe. Here's the thing, is I should stop doing what I'm doing, which is comparing that 70s show to Mad Men.
Yeah,
where there's like
they take place in different decades, don't they?
No, I know, but like a period show, because Mad Men is so deliberate and so thought out. Everything is like, let's make sure there's no anachronisms and everybody's wearing the right clothing and all the songs are in the right year and all the events happen in order and everything. And I need to stop making that comparison, because I just feel like this show is not as bad as The Big Bang Theory, but it's like The Big Bang Theory just set in the 70s, right? Like it's just it's a sitcom. No, it's not.
It's a three-camera sitcom with a live audience on a network TV show.
Exactly.
Mad Men is a high-budget one-camera show on AMC on cable.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. It's.
But I feel like I still want to make the comparison though, because it's sort of. Well, now that you've told me that there's specific years for the seasons, it makes it feel similar to Mad Men, and it's trying to depict the America's wild years. I don't know. What was your favorite song?
None of them. I don't know.
Really?
I wasn't a huge fan. It was fine. I liked it, even though there were way too many sparkles. I liked Shake Your Groove Thing there at the end.
Oh,
because the dancing was super fun, and it was just a fun, flashy song at the end, and I liked it a lot. Probably after that would be the Joker. I liked the Joker a lot.
The hand dancing and the
the weird swastikas with the arms.
I didn't notice the swastikas until I went to the YouTube comments, and everyone had something to say about that. Oh my God.
Yep. For the listener, if you haven't watched the show, they basically like do this top-down camera where the 4 people are sitting around this table on respective sides, and then they put their hands together in the middle and make all kinds of weird shapes with their arms, either straight in or to the sides, and the camera's looking down, and they make swastikas sometimes, and then everything goes black light, and they're wearing white for some reason because it's the 70s and psychedelic, and I guess whatever. And then
wow, you were really down on this. I thought that was cool. I liked it.
I mean, it was fine. I just thought it was pointless. Like,
I don't know.
I don't understand why they did it.
Oh, just to be. I mean, do they need to have a point?
I think things should.
Oh, well, I think the significance is this looks cool and we're high.
Sure. Okay. That's fine, and that's a good enough reason. And if that was the reason, then brava. But like, I don't know. It just felt kind of like, hey, let's do this weird camera angle, and what could look cool from this camera angle? Hey, wave your arms around.
You don't like arm waving around. I learned this from you in the Xena episode.
Yeah.
Or that was their heads, but like, the top-down camera dancing.
It just feels like lazy choreography to me.
Oh, I don't think so. I thought... I mean, if they're going to do a scene around that table, which, the table is the table scenes are kind of iconic in this show. Mm-hmm. And they've never done a top-down angle that I can remember from that table. True. And so then everyone wants to look at the table to see if they actually have a bong on the table, like if they show. But anyway, it just wouldn't make sense for them to then get up and start dancing from a level. Do you know what I mean? Like, how would you make dancing? Would you make the dancing in a circle like they normally show the dialogue when they're around that table?
No, you well...
I mean, I thought it was appropriate for the setting and for the activity.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I convinced you that it's great, right? Right?
Yep.
Good.
Sure. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I could think of some more. Well, maybe not on network TV. I was thinking if they could maybe mimic like passing a joint around in some kind of weird choreography way, but you can't do that on network TV.
Right. I think that's part of the joke too, right? That they never show the table because it's like, well, it's a dig, I think, at the network television, limits on them or whatever. I think is like, well, we're still gonna show this aspect of these teenage kids' lives in the 70s. You can't stop us from doing that, and just will make it quite obvious. I really like that idea, and I think that they stumbled onto that really well. And I think that idea of the way they show the people around the table during those scenes is just a great vehicle for funny dialogue, and it's interesting, it's a kind of new, interesting way to show that. I thought it was kind of, I don't know. I've always liked that about that 70s show, those scenes.
Yeah, I agree. It's an interesting thing. And I think they do a good job of it in other episodes. I just felt like the arm waving. And again, you're right. I don't like arm waving. That's just me, I guess. I don't like arms.
Hate them.
Hate them arms.
Did you like that scene in Jessica Jones when that guy loses his arms, Ben? Did you like that scene?
Are you making something up?
No. Have you seen Jessica Jones?
Yeah, but we haven't finished it yet.
Oh, sorry. Some guy loses his arms. Okay. Spoiler.
Okay. Spoiler. Good, because I hate arms. I'll probably like it.
Yeah, you'll dig that more than this.
I love it. Get away, arms.
Farewell. 2 arms.
2 arms. Speaking of, when you were talking about Mad Men and costuming, the costumes in this episode were a little weird.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically of the first song.
Me too. That's exactly what I was thinking of as well. Some of the stuff felt a little 80s. I mean, some of them were very much 70s hair metal things, but it just felt like they kind of threw, okay, like, this is sparkly, you wear this,
Yeah.
It's like, we got this sparkly thing in the costume shop, to wear this.
Yeah, there was, so Mila Kunis's character, Jackie, she has a zebra print leotard on, and I don't think that really, can't picture that being a 70s thing, though I didn't live in the 70s, but I loved her outfit for some reason. Like they all just look like they're having fun, you know, because they're just in these bright outfits and they've got these sunglasses on and they're all playing guitars and she's got a tambourine and it just looked really fun. So it worked for me that they just threw things on them.
Yeah, it just felt, I don't know, that felt anachronistic to me. It looked fun, but I was like, I don't know, this just feels later. But, you know, if it's taking place in 1979, I guess it's close enough to the 80s to have some bleed over.
Probably.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Fez, the guy who plays Fez, is clearly the best actor.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. Everyone else is just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe they're going a little bit over the top because it's the musical episode and everything's kind of supposed to take place in Fez's brain and for the melodrama. But I don't know. I always have thought he was one of the best ones.
He, I will say, was definitely the best dancer.
Yep. Exactly.
Does he have training or something? His dancing was
know.
great. He was super into it. Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Always front and center.
Yeah.
Always the lead off.
They knew. Obviously they featured him for that reason. But yeah, can move those hips. What's his name?
Yeah.
Wilmer Vellamaglia.
I have no idea how to
I think
pronounce his last
that's
name.
his name. I think that's what it is.
Wilmer is definitely his first name. It felt, and some of the jokes when watching the show, they made a joke where Fez is like doing his do re mi's for warm ups or something, and then Kitty comes in and is like, "Who is that? Is that Fez? It sounded like Wayne Newton." And I'm just like, "Who's Wayne Newton? I don't know who that is."
Sounds like a football player. No, that's Cam Newton.
Again, I don't know who that is. And then, maybe that's the joke. Maybe that's why people are laughing, is because it's a person, like it's supposed to be an old person in the 70s. So
Wait, you didn't look it up?
So now it's even older. I don't care. Who's Wayne Newton? I don't care.
All right, well, now I'm going to look it up. Wayne.
I assume he's just an old singer. I probably will recognize a song or two that he sung.
Whoa. He's an interesting looking man.
Oh my goodness, yes.
His hair is quite Elvis-y. I feel like he's a crooner.
Yeah, no.
Donka Shane. He's saying Donka Shane.
Of course he did.
Darling Donka Shane. That's cute. And Kitty would like him because she was 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let's
known for his songs "Daddy, Don't You Walk So Fast" and "Red Roses for a Blue Lady."
Ooh.
Dumb.
I like Donka Shane.
Oh, I do too.
Let's talk some more about some of the songs, because I have lots of things to say about a lot of the songs. Specifically, Can I bring up...
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Love Hurts?
Yep.
So I clipped out a recording of this because, I mean, obviously, Lauren Prepon and Mila Kunis were not singing.
No, not even a little.
But the voices they choose for them...
I know, right?
Ridiculous.
Why didn't they just pick a person and like, okay, sing it like a normal person? Especially since Eric and Kelso were both singing so
that was awkward. So
weird.
I think here is my theory as to what happened. Lauren Prepon obviously has no problem singing because she sang in The Joker before this. But I feel like Mila Kunis, she only actually sang one line in Shake Your Groove thing. Yeah, and it wasn't very good. So my thought is it was a
Too high.
Allison Hannigan sort of just don't make me sing. I don't want to sing.
Oh, yeah.
And Love Hurts, I mean, it's not super easy if you're not a singer, you know? It's not like The Joker where you can just kind of sing along. It's whatever.
Sing talking.
Right, exactly. So my theory is that she was just like, guys, please don't make me sing. And they were like, okay, well, let's make a joke out of this and just give you a voice that you totally wouldn't ever have. And we'll do the same thing to Donna because then it won't seem so out of place. But what it turned into was like this weird, like half of it was fake, but half of it was real because both the guys are singing. So anyway, let's just listen to it.
Love hurts, love scars, love wounds, love mars.
Any heart not tough
or strong enough to take a lot of pain, take a lot of pain.
Love is like a cloud. It holds a lot of rain.
Love hurts.
Anyway, it was funny, I think, and they did a good job. The girls did a good job with their facial expressions when they lip synced it.
Yes, although when people lip sync things, they have a tendency to emote too much with their heads.
Well, it was all just bad lip syncing throughout.
Right. I mean, like Donna especially swinging her head around to emote because she's not actually, emoting with her voice. She's having to mimic the emotions that are being played. But and so she's like head bobbing all over the place, and it's like, okay, chill out. the song's already being emotional. You don't have to sell it with your neck.
This song though was pretty funny, I think, when they start to get into it. I really liked the sort of disco that it turned into in the middle. Then they start dancing and they do like the hustle and stuff, and I thought that was kind of cute. I liked this one. My favorite song actually was "So Happy Together."
Really? Why?
With the three guys and with Kitty and Red. I liked the dancing, I think. I liked the staging and the choreography and the
fun.
faces everyone made. And it's so funny to see Red be really happy about something like singing. I mean, it's totally normal for Kitty, but the character of Red, is such a curmudgeonly old man. And also to see like Hyde and like, everyone kind of playing out in Fez's fantasy. So when they come down the stairs and they're doing like this like grapevine down the stairs, I was just cracking up. I loved it, and I was smiling the whole time. When they go dance outside and then they're singing ba 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 ba, they're singing Bob, and then Bob comes out of the garage.
That was good. I noticed that. I liked that a lot, and that car was crazy sparkly.
I know, and I loved their costumes in this one, where they were just wearing like normal clothes that they normally wear, but then when they go outside to do the cane dance, all their clothes are the same, but they've been transformed just to be sparkly versions of what they were. I thought that was clever and cute.
It is good. I like them moving from room to room. I thought that was good. Because most of the other stuff, the other songs, I think pretty much all of them just take place at one location, and a lot of them take place on a fake stage, right? Because they take place in Fez's fantasy, where
the first and last ones, they
take
and also
place,
on a
fake stage. I like them moving from place to place, and I thought that was really fun, and really, really interesting. And then there was like one more song that we.
Let's see. So Sing, which was the opener, then the.
No, we talked about that's all of them.
So Happy Together, Joker,
and then the generic punk music when they were TPing the house.
Yeah. Which I liked that scene. That kind of reminded me of being in high school and TPing houses. Did you ever TP houses in high school, Josh? Whose house did you TP?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's too bad.
Just some random person's house from high school or in their neighborhood or something. I don't know. Probably wasn't even anybody important.
I remember
just some random person's house.
I'm going to make a confession. So one time, me and some friends decided to TP the new pastor's house. And so we went over there and we TP'd the house, and it was really fun. And then we found out later that he wasn't home because he had been at his other church where he had just come from, because a teenage kid had just died.
Oh no. That's terrible.
I know.
And so he comes home and he's like, I've just done a
Emotionally
ton
drained.
of work with my real job, and now I have more work to do cleaning this crap up.
We didn't know, and we didn't. We were just like, welcome to the neighborhood.
Gosh.
I don't think we went the whole 9 with like shaving cream and forking the yard and stuff. We just teepeed.
I've never done that before.
I did that. I did that to a friend who I was mad at, and I feel really bad. Sarah, I wrote loser on your door in lipstick, and that's not what I meant. That was so mean. And then I saw you later and you were crying about something, and it wasn't the teepee thing. And so then I told you that we teepeed your house so that you wouldn't go home and feel even worse. But then I felt terrible. Teepeeing is maybe just make sure that everyone's cool with it before you do it.
I want to say that may negate the purpose of it.
Well,
because I mean, like if you go that route with pranks, it's like I pranked him good. What you do? I left a cake on their front door. Like you smashed a cake into their front door? No, I just put it on their steps. It said,
was it?
Well, it said happy birthday on it. Is it their birthday? No, that's the prank.
I ding dong ditched and left a cake. They did
just an empty lot.
They did do they teepeed the shit out of that house though, and they left dog crap on the porch too.
Mm-hmm, they did. Shaving cream everywhere.
Yeah, but they just looked like they were having fun because they were like fighting with the toilet paper and stuff. It looked like a fun
until
scene.
the point where they actually steal the guy's mailbox.
Right, that was maybe a little far. And the guy, what did you think about the choir director guy?
Okay, I thought he was a fine actor. I thought the writing for him was terrible.
Yeah, what even the heck? So I have a scene that I clipped out that I just want to listen to because I want to just, can you help me make sense of it? Mm-hmm. Of like lots of things happening in this scene. So, okay, this is between Fez and the choir teacher.
I'm moving you to the back row so that no one can hear that squawk box that you call a voice.
The back row? But the back row is for the untalented and the ugly. You're no fun.
Music is not about fun. It's about passion and commitment. Have you ever been moved to tears by the warbling timbre of your own voice?
No, because I am a man.
Well, he doesn't seem to like you at all.
The British have always hated my people. We won the war, buddy. Get over it. Oh, good one, Fez.
Okay, couple things about that. Number one, who
He says
pronounces
timbre wrong.
it timber?
People who are incorrect because it's not timber.
Well, I'm wondering if he did that because that's how it's pronounced in British English, or if he did that because he doesn't actually know, like, ever use that word in his real life because he's not a musician.
Should.
Well, I don't know if non-vocal musical people know that word.
Okay. Well, we'll save it for the quiz.
Because when you look, okay, then never mind, moving on. So then my other thing with this is, I have a question for you since you've seen everything. Do we ever find out where Fez is from?
No, that's the running joke.
Okay, I thought it was a running joke. So earlier in this episode, he says perfecto. So I'm like, well, is he Hispanic? But I know that he's gone and rants in his native language, and it is just gobbledygook. It's like nothing.
It's gibberish, yeah.
And then he makes this statement about our people won the war against the British.
Yeah.
I don't know what country that would be.
Nobody. And it actually directly contradicts a statement that he's made in a previous episode. In a previous episode, he literally says, my country has never been in a war.
See, this is why these are the things that make me think, well, they're just like, they're just telling the jokes in the moment, and nothing's supposed to be connected, you know? You're not supposed to take it this so seriously, Kayla. Stop.
It's real bad.
But yeah,
It is not
that
good.
I think I clipped that scene out because I wanted to talk about. I really liked the music in this episode, and the dancing, and I liked the concept of a musical episode for this show in particular, but the writing is terrible. Whenever they're talking, the dialogue is just horrendous. And they try, some of the actors are better than others, but at one point Kitty has a line where she's trying to cheer up Fez and get him to be excited about singing, and her line is happy song, happy song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just so lazy. I don't know. So she kind of tries to make it cute, but
there's kind of a weird thing in the opposite direction where I think there are not very good lines, but Eric has one that he delivers really, really well, where it's in Fez's fantasy where they're around the table before Joker, where he's like, yeah, I don't want to go to see that foreign kid thing. I don't care about him. I hope he dies. Hey, we should kill him. And that line, the way he delivers, hey, we should kill him, is great. He delivers it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's actually the best actor in the show.
He's pretty good.
And interestingly, I think Mila Kunis is the worst on this show. And I don't think she's a bad actress. I just think that on this show, it is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Just in my watching of it.
Laura Prepon's not great either on this show. But in Orange is the New Black, she's fantastic.
Yeah. So when I heard she was going to be on Orange is the New Black, I was like, really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's great on that show. So it's the writing I think makes a difference. There are some actors that can kind of polish, like the Eric, like Topher Grace, I think did in this show. But I think there are other actors that just when they have good writing, that's when they shine.
It kind of felt like I don't know, the way the music was edited, the vocal part of it felt so much more subdued than the music. Like the music was all upbeat and really loud, but the vocals felt, and not even really not even volume wise quiet. They just felt like they weren't excited to sing.
Yes.
Yes. Like they just felt more relaxed. There was one part where it was a build up to the happy together where it's ba 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 ba. I can't see me loving nobody but you. But it builds up to that, and then Red's like, I can't see me loving nobody. And it's quiet, and it's low, and it's not excited, and that's the buildup. That's the climax of the song, and he comes in, and it's super low and quiet and bored sounding.
And I don't know how you fix that, because if you've got
directing.
People, I'm hesitant to say that the singers were timid. I mean, I think they wanted to try, and I think they did try. But if you don't have a powerful singing voice, you know what I mean? Like if you don't know about basic things about singing with breath support and all this stuff, you're not going to be able to pull off what's needed for a build-up like that. And
that's true.
The editors can't just raise the volume on a timid voice.
Yeah, it's true.
That
then it
sound
just
awkward.
Sounds loud and bored.
Yeah. So, let me ask, what is your criticism? Like, who is your criticism of exactly? The directing, you say?
The directing, yes, definitely the director. Because a good director can pull that out, and a good director can do that by pissing people off and making them do it again and again. I mean, it's obviously not a one take thing. I mean,
but I feel like they did. Mm-hmm.
It feels like they were like, okay, 2 or 3 takes and done. It wasn't like this is the ideal that we're looking for and we're going to do it till we get it. Mm-hmm. It's like, give me 3 different takes. We'll pick the best one, or we'll splice together the best one.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, okay, so let's think of, there are other episodes that we've seen with non-singers that have done better. So I'm thinking about in the Psych episode, the girl was not a good singer, right? But the mixing on that was much better. The girl in Psych, what's her name?
Oh, Juliet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
not a good singer, but for some reason the mixing was better. Maybe because she was trying harder. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, what other instances can you think of where the directing worked with someone who's not a singer?
Scrubs probably with Elliot, I think, actually as well, because she has that song with JD about Friends Forever. And it's nice and happy and fun and upbeat. And even though a lot of it is sing-talking, it's precise and it's done well. And the emotion comes through with that. She sounds happy. She's not just talking. She actually, the emotions come through.
Yeah, and I think that is totally right. And I think that actually is the case for all of those actors in Scrubs. Is any of them could be bad, but they all sang strong. And you can actually work with strong singing.
That's true.
So even though we didn't love some of the Carla's stuff and stuff, but you can work with someone who's trying really hard and who, you push to do it all the way.
Also, I really, even if it's a live studio audience, I hate laugh tracks. I hate being told when I'm supposed to laugh.
Yeah, and I agree, but I think laugh tracks are now becoming sort of a thing of the past because I think sitcoms are now becoming a thing of the past. We've got all these, Parks and Rec and Kimmy Schmidt comedies are now moving away from laugh tracks and from a sort of sitcom setup. And I think
goodness.
So that makes it even more grating when you go back to a show that has a laugh track. It's like, ooh, you're laughing at laughing at something that's not funny, B laughing too hard at it, and C like making me feel like you want me to be laughing, and I hate that. I
do too. It's like if you laugh and if you laugh at something that to me is not funny, it almost feels like I am wrong. Like you're like,
or you're telling me
you're
I'm
dumb
wrong
for not laughing.
Yeah.
Or you're dumb if you don't think this is funny.
Yeah.
Whereas no, you're dumb because you have a terrible show, guys. Stop making The Big Bang Theory.
I do kind of remember though watching the very first times I was watching comedies that didn't have laugh tracks, and it was a little disconcerting because it makes it, when you have a laugh track and you laugh at something, it makes it feel like you're laughing with people. But so it's a little braver to laugh at something when you're the only one laughing. Which is why it's so fun to watch The Office all in a group together, because then you're an audience. You know, when you're an audience of one, it I think is kind of comforting sometimes, maybe to feel like you're not alone in thinking this is funny.
No, that's definitely true, and it's why a lot of comedy stage shows come off a lot better on stage with a bunch of people. I mean, it's why I love being on stage in front of a packed house versus 10 or 12 people. It's because everyone is braver in a group. And so they're going to laugh. They're going to give you more energy. And so you're going to feed off that, and everybody's going to have a great time. But if you're just by yourself, then, that's something different. So yeah, I understand. I mean, like, there is only one show that I can think of, maybe two shows that I can think of that I actually really enjoy that have a laugh track. They're both British. It's the IT Crowd and it's Black Books.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones I can think of.
Hey, did you catch the Firefly reference?
No.
Some people call me the Space Cowboy. And then they had a conversation about, I want to be the Space Cowboy. Everyone knows I'm the Space Cowboy. Yeah.
And I call Midnight Toker. Oh, man. Quiz. You want to answer a quiz?
I do.
All right. Mr. Wilkinson, who is the music teacher, he's played by someone of note. Who is it?
I was trying to figure this out, and I deliberately didn't look it up so that you could ask me this quiz question. Look, I know you so well. I don't know who it is. I will say that. But I'm going to try and guess his significance.
Okay.
So I think maybe he is a British comedy actor.
No.
Dang it.
And when you were talking about him not being a musical person, I was like, nope, because he's a musical person. And I didn't want to give away the quiz. He is Roger Daltrey. He is one of the founding members of The Who.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to look up how you say timbre in British English.
Do it.
Hold on just a sec. Fill for time, Josh.
I don't want to.
Okay, this is saying that in UK English it's pronounced timbre,
Timbre, because it's French.
kind of
origin.
like French. And in US they call it timbre. So he chose neither of those pronunciations. Now I'm going to see a YouTube clip. Hold on.
Make sure it's not pronunciation manual.
So this person thinks it's timber or timber. I don't know. It felt off to me when he said that. But maybe that's the way he wants to do it. And that is completely fair because this is not French. This is English. And we can make things fit more in our phonetic alphabet. Moving on.
Yep. Okay, number 2. This episode was nominated for 3 Emmys.
Wow.
Yeah, can you tell me for what?
Best costuming, best sound mixing, best performance by Fez.
You got one. So it's
sweet.
costume design is one of them.
Okay.
Art direction for multi-camera episode, and outstanding achievement in television in an episodic format.
Emmy. Wow.
Yeah, all nominated. None of them won.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Next quiz question. Which song is the one that? Nope, we got that one. Why did you choose to? Nope, got that one and got that one. So there, we already talked about the others. The other things I figured out for the quiz. It's fine. They weren't very good anyway. There was not a whole lot of information on this episode out there. It was pretty sparse.
I believe it.
All right, who can make it?
I think singing. I think Topher Grace was the best singer.
He was.
Eric.
I thought the same thing on Happy Together. When he comes down and he just does this little flutter thing.
It's only right.
Yeah, it was nice, and it wasn't too forced. It was just a little thing that he added, and it was great.
I think on Love Hurts, his beginning solo was kind of shaky, but then when he got into it, he was like really kind of belting, and it sounded pretty good.
Yep, and he was the only one that belted on Space Cowboy. When he was like,
some people call me Maurice.
Yeah,
Can I tell you?
One who did it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay, can I tell you a story about that song? So my very first boyfriend back in 6th grade was named Maurice. And my dad, when he found this out, he kept asking me, does he speak of the Papatess of Love? And I had never heard this song. I don't know any of this stuff. And I just hated it so much because I was like, stop making fun of me. And I was like, I don't even know what Papatess is. He's like, no one does. The guy made it up. And that is my memory of this song. Before I knew it. But I actually like this song. What is your favorite of all of these songs, like in their original recordings?
In their original recordings?
Yeah.
Well, the one that we didn't hear. The Ramones song, Blitzkrieg Bop. Yep.
Yes, that is a great song. And so we didn't hear that. What was played over it instead?
Just generic punk music. It's when they were TPing the house.
That was supposed to be Blitzkrieg Bop. That would have been great.
I know, and I'm assuming it's just a licensing issue because it was on the broadcast, but then it wasn't on, and then it's on the DVDs, but it's not on the syndication or Netflix because I think Netflix is direct rip from syndication.
Huh. Well, that is too bad.
Because
yeah.
Because it would have been perfect. It was perfect. Yeah, I think that's my favorite one. When I for the longest time I thought that the Papatess of Love. I mean, you know how you do when you hear songs, you never really understand what the real words are until you actually go look them up. I thought it was the Pamplemousse of Love. which is French. Yeah, which is French for grapefruit. I'm like, why is he talking about a grapefruit of love?
Well,
that doesn't
I
make
mean,
any sense.
It also doesn't make any sense to talk about the papatus of love.
I know. Yeah.
Whatever that is. The pamplemousse of love. Okay, that is now canon in my head. That is what that's supposed to be. That's great. I think so. And we've already said this, but I think Fez is the best dancer.
I think he could do it on Broadway. He's not a strong singer. Not a strong singer.
No, definitely not. Very weak. But I don't know. I mean,
I think he did a good job of singing with his fake accent. Even though his singing wasn't strong, his accent still came through, you know, because that's hard to do. If you're I don't know, if you're concentrating on trying to sound better or trying to sound your best, you have to do it in a way that's most natural to you, which would be your natural accent or how it sounds to say things when you hear good singers and the way they sing. I mean, like, because when people sing, kind of drop your accent a little bit, which is one of the reasons why I hate country music, is because it's such a huge affectation to add all that nonsense, that extra nonsense that they do. It's going out of their way to sound this specific thing to appeal to a certain audience. It's dumb. Just actually segue. Have you heard that? What was it? That Bo Burnham song about country music?
No.
It's really, really funny. Basically, just talking about how this guy, how the generic country music singer, writing all these songs about trucks and cows while sitting in their private jet, you know, like writing songs for people, writing songs for people who live in towns that I would never visit.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
That's
a great observation.
It's really, really funny. Bo Burnham, very, very clever. Not my favorite comedian, but he's very clever, and he was the perfect pick. He's the guy in that, I think, the 6th season of Parks and Rec.
I know who Bo Burnham is. I just haven't heard this song.
Yeah, but you know that's him, right, from Parks and Rec? He plays the what is his name? Skip.
Oh,
Skip.
yeah.
Skip. Whatchamacallit? I don't remember.
Wait, in the 6th season?
Yeah, he's gonna play for the Harvest Festival, but then he doesn't. He sings the song "Sexy Like My Mom" # pray for the troops or something like that. Or support the troops # support the troops.
I don't remember that at all.
Beautiful like my mom # support the troops. It's really, really funny. They go to him and he's like in his recording studio. He's like, "Can somebody get me some lunch stacks and stack them this time?" Oh, it's good. Then he shoots his dad with a paintball gun.
I'm not laughing. I have no context. I cannot remember that. I do remember him being there though. I remember him being in Parks and Rec.
It's one of my favorite episodes of Parks and Rec. It's the one where they go to the wine tasting competition, and Ben gets drunk on blueberry wine and drops his phone into the puddle, and he's like, "Oh, phone water," and he picks it up. He's like, "Hello, it's Leslie. It's Leslie. Nope, my wife." And like, it's so good. That's a great episode. Then he tries to jump over a fence and he can't, and it's great. Anyway, let's talk about the show that's not as good as that show.
Okay.
Do you have some YouTube quotes?
I do. I will share them with you. All right. So in Happy Together, Iron Priest of Metal says, Topher Grace, the 5th Beatle. I don't know why.
Because of his haircut, probably.
Oh, maybe.
Because he's a big old mop head.
Probably. Let's go with, so in The Joker, Davey B says 126. So everyone was talking about the Nazis, and they were all like tagging times when they make the swastika symbol. And he says 126, proof that this show is sending Nazi subliminal messages in your mind. Arm yourself with knowledge, my fellow mammals.
Oh man, YouTube.
People are weird.
Where the 10-year-olds can say whatever they want.
And then someone, James Marsden, in fact,
Oh,
says,
ooh.
"What's the symbol they make right at the end?" And Ricky's Guitar Channel replies, "A peace sign?" And then Hypnotsy Soda says, "Atari logo in a circle."
That's actually really good.
Random YouTuber says, "Thank you, That 70's Show, for introducing me to Steve Miller Band. I hate that I have wasted the last 14 years of my quote-unquote life, if you can even call it that, without me having been listening to them." That one's real happy.
Yeah, good.
In Love Hurts, Joaquin Rodriguez says, "Jackie's is a big fat lip singer." She sure is. Big fat one.
Lip singer.
So
As
they're
opposed
singing.
to a Mongolian throat singer.
Yes. Big fat lip singer. That would be a good. Is there a band called Big Fat Lip? Big
Yeah.
Fat Gap. Big Fat Gap. That's a band.
Big Fat Gap? Are you sure? That
Okay.
sounds weird.
Band. Big Fat. Oh, I think it's a local band here.
Big.
Yeah, Big Fat.
I mean,
yeah,
Fat
sorry.
Lip. Fat Lip is a song. That Sum 41 song that was
Oh,
huge
okay.
back in high school.
Is that the one that goes da 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 da?
Think so?
I don't know. So this is Love Hurts, right? And they're all singing about Love Hurts. Sophia Diaz says, "Ha ha, me on Valentine's Day."
What?
Singing about how love hurts. And then Justin P says, "If there's someone who you think is lying, play this video to them and press 8 repeatedly. Trust me, they'll confess."
What? I don't understand that.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand what that means. What does that mean?
He's just
It's
trying
because
to...
8 looks like sideways balls?
No, I don't... Sometimes I think that you'll think something's funny and I completely miss the mark. I thought that was hilarious.
I mean, maybe it's, I don't know. I'm just confused by it. Like, it
Well,
didn't,
don't
it
try and
didn't-
think about it too hard. I think that's your problem, is you're trying too hard to like analyze the real meaning
YouTube,
of
yeah.
which there is none.
Right. Okay.
So
Oh,
those are
man.
my quotes.
Good quotes. Thanks, YouTube, again, for delivering another round of nonsense from people who don't matter. All right. Let's rate it. What you gonna rate it?
I think I liked it way more than you. I was smiling almost the entire time. And maybe it was because it was the morning and I had a ton of really good coffee. But I'm rating it 8 out of 10, 830 hugs.
Nice.
Do you remember when they said, "And stop waking each other up at 8:30 with giving hugs"?
Giving up. That was really funny. I laughed like an actual out loud chuckle when he goes, "Daddy," in that way, and then Red like fake punches his chin. I was like, this is, but it was so funny like to see them in that bed in what is, with their names on the back, and then they cut back to Kitty and Red, and there's that big poster of like Farrah Fawcett in a swimsuit behind
Yeah.
them. Like, it's a great kids room.
Wholesome.
That was good. I liked that.
What do you
I
rate
liked
it?
it a lot. I probably will give it a 6.5 because I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine.
All right.
Having seen a lot of other episodes of That 70's Show, I think I'm just kind of relating it back to those, my enjoyment of those, and my enjoyment of some of the other musical stuff that we've watched. In terms of the music itself, I would say 6 to 6.5 out of 10 Sparkle Vests.
Sweet.
So yeah, that was good.
Bob was an unnecessary accessory in this episode.
He really was. I mean, yeah.
But he was there. I'm glad he was there for that episode. That was good.
That was
But
good.
He for some reason, why is everyone coming to see Fez perform. Like, I know his friends should come and watch him, but I don't understand why Red and Kitty were like backstage with him the whole time. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're done talking about this.
We are actually, but I just wanted to say one more thing. When the music director comes in and he's like, "All right, everyone, teeth and cleavage, teeth and cleavage." I thought that was really funny.
I did too, because I didn't understand it. What kind of direction is that?
It's nothing. It's like give the people what they want to see: smiles and boobs.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Although at a high school setting, it's super creepy.
It is. When he's talking to those girls about a diaphragm and they're giggling and stuff. What an unnecessary scene. Like, didn't understand. I didn't understand.
I think they were probably just trying to give him more to do.
Probably, but I wonder what his opinion of this gig was, you know?
Mm-hmm. Probably not great.
Maybe he loved it. Who knows? He didn't get to sing, what was his, what did he do in The Who? I
think he was the frontman.
What's his name? Nigel
Daltrey?
Farage.
No. Roger Daltrey. So he's not Pete Townsend.
I thought Pete Townsend was the drummer.
No, Roger Daltrey was the drummer. Pete Townsend was the guitarist.
I don't know things.
Yep. He was he was percussion. Like Keith Moon was the drummer.
Keith Moon. Mm-hmm. That's the name.
Yeah, Roger Daltrey, if any one member of The Who can be said to be the group's founding mother, it's singer Roger Daltrey. So I guess he also did some percussion, but he was a singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
I just watched an episode of Psych today where they go into a hotel room and Gus is like, "This hotel room's trash. I wonder if Johnny Depp stopped by." And then he starts like chuckling to himself. He's like, Sean is like, "What is it 1993 called and they want their joke back or something like that?" He's like, "What, he used to crash hotel rooms and destroy hotel rooms?" Like, "Yeah, used to. He has kids now, Gus." It's like, "Well, who can I say? I don't know. Keith Moon's always a good one." Anyway.
All right.
Episode over.
Plugs and bugs and strugs.
Sure. You can follow us at Podcast Musical on Twitter, facebook.com/podcastmusical or podcastthemusical.com, where you can find all of our older episodes and links to iTunes and our RSS feed. If you use an Android device or in your podcast device, in whatever app you use, iOS or Android, just search for Podcast The Musical. It should be in there. And every app that I've tried, it usually right there on the first page. iTunes, it's not. iTunes, you have to actually like scroll down. iTunes catalog is not very good when trying to find things. But so the easiest way to do it in iTunes is just to go to podcastthemusical.com, click the link up at the top for the link directly to our iTunes page. You can email us at Josh or Kayla at podcastthemusical.com. We'll get those immediately, or do whatever you want. You can follow me at Josh Rhodes on Instagram, or Kayla at
Vix Kayla on Twitter and Kayla Vix on Instagram.
Our next episode is going to be on Season 3, Episode 10 of Community, Regional Holiday Music. It is a fantastic episode, probably one of my favorite episodes of comedic television ever. It's
you can
very,
find
very
it on
good.
Netflix?
No, you cannot.
Oh, you can't find... Where can you find it?
You can find it on Hulu, I think, if you have a subscription. You can find it on Google Play. You can buy it on Google Play or iTunes or Amazon. If you use a VPN, you might be able to get it on Netflix in Netflix UK, even though I think they're pulling those fairly soon. And Netflix is cracking down on VPN, on region switchers.
It might be somewhere on Vimeo. Just scour the internet, but you should really try and watch it. Yeah. It's real good.
Go to your local library and get the Season 3 box and just watch it all.
Yeah.
Or get 1 through 3. Watch them all. Binge them if you haven't already. It's great. It's so great.
Skip 4.
And then just watch 5. And then you can still watch 6 on yahoo.com.
For free?
Yeah.
Neat. Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know for how much longer, but you still can.
Sweet. Well, thanks for listening to our episode on That 70's Show. Always remember, you guys, that we love you.
Love is just a lie.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.